Maximus Analysis here for March 1st. Wow, 2016. And we have a huge start for the day. This is a very big move here. ES, really, I mean, again, there'll be people that will try their best, or matter of fact, I hope that through the honesty of this channel that you will see that they will say, oh, I knew the intraday moves were gonna come today. No, I didn't know it was gonna come at all. And we still had some numbers that we said yesterday we want them to hold above. One was 1928, which still holds as far as a bigger time frame. Overnight, we want them to hold this 1950 level. Okay, it's coming basically that target that I said 1978. It's about a point or a few away. After that is testing either the 1985 and of course the psychological 2000 level. So again, this is our bear market trend line that we have, and again, it's still holding. And we'll just continue to look exactly where this thing is going, because this is a huge day, and we just want to see some type of follow through. And they're coming into this resistance level that I have marked with this box here that you can see has been tapped numerous times and it failed. So now we're going to see if that's the resistance, and it's pretty much just that 1985, 88 area. So we'll continue to watch it. Again, remember those numbers. We want them to hold in the Euro and Asian session, which is this 1950 for overnight. Again, we have the volatility there, so you might say, oh, it's 20 points away. Well, again, today was a huge range, right? So how many points were today? 50 at one point. So just keep things in mind. Again, we would like the bulls would want some follow through, and just to continue where things are going. So they're holding some levels, and that's that. Did I see this move today? I will not be dishonest at all, and I won't be the people that you will see out there and say, yes, I saw this coming. No, how could I see this coming? So you just, again, make sure that you think of both sides. And again, that's why I wanted to have that target mark, which again, they just hit 1978 while we're on this video. So let's look at the NQ, and same type of deal. Huge move today on the NQ, up over 135 points. So for the NQ, again, that is huge. And if you look on this chart, you might see one day here and extreme volatility here that gives you that type of movement up. So either they're going to scream or this is capitulation. Again, we want them to hold, I would say, about this 4275, 4280 area. Again, we don't want them to close below that. When I say close below that, I'm talking about the higher time frames. Well, for intraday trading, the 4 hour and the 1 hour and maybe even the 2 hour, 130 minute. We want them to stay above that as well. So we'll continue to watch that. The YM is brushing against that 17,000 level. Again, we want to see them now have volume to follow through and increase, and we'll continue to watch that. Again, you could just eyeball this and say you need to stay above 16,750 would be the level I want them to stay above on this, and then again have increasing volume tomorrow. So I'm going to say this jokingly that, look, crude, this is the J contract, didn't follow that at all. So I guess, and this is why I tell you guys to make sure you're not looking at a complete correlation between the two of these names, the ES and crude, because crude, you know, you hear all, whenever the market's down, you hear that, crude pulled it down. Whenever the market's up, you hear, well, crude didn't do much at all today. Again, it had a lot of intraday movement, which is typical for crude's behavior intraday, but didn't show you anything close to the percentage gains that you had on the indexes. Let's look at a couple names. So let's look at Facebook. Okay, and let's keep an open mind here on what's going on. Now, this looks very good. Again, this pattern is not what I would really like, but let's make sure that if you're going to go long, that you at least look at another time frame to kind of give you some type of, I'm going to clean this chart up a little bit. So Facebook is coming off of this huge bar down. Again, if they break above about this 110.50, this huge bar down is null and void. It's an earnings bar, And we really want to make sure that we're looking at a higher time frame, not to get overzealous in regards to how everybody's very bullish right now. Now, I'm not telling you to get bearish, but I'm telling you to make sure you're looking at the other side of the coin to make sure that you're not caught that if they break below certain numbers. So now they need to get above this 110.50, and they will kind of actually close above it probably like 1 or 2 weeks, and then this bar is null and void. If they don't, okay, a break of 105.50 with some strong volume could, see some things, especially with how annoying this pattern was. So again, you've had gap up, gap downs, and again, it all is going to predicate if that ES and NQ and YM really move with some type of movement. Let's look at Apple. Excuse me, this is not Apple. Apple's chart. Apple moves above this previous mark with high volume, which is great. Again, you can see that the similar type of volume there was on these move ups, but it's with some good volume. But again, you also want to make sure that you're looking and saying, okay, where is Apple right now? So if I told you that, again, this is a weekly chart, so this chart is not closed. But if I told you, okay, would you buy this right here? If I didn't tell you the time frame, you'd say I would wait because this looks like a bear flag setting up for more downside potential. 200-day moving average is held, but we really haven't seen that much volume in the past 3 weeks, including this week, unless they really showed us some oomph in the last 3 days, going into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So keep that thing in line. Again, if you're long, it's a great long as well, because you have defined your risk with this low right here and also these lows that came and the 200-day moving average. So if you're in it, great. If you're looking to get long, I would be a little bit more careful unless you're a breakout trader. And of course, the aggressive time frames will change all of this around. But I'm looking at the daily and weekly for this charts. I'm taking a little bit more time than I usually do because we want to see what they do. And if this goes up, it can go up to that 106 mark, I think, at least. So again, it's looking at this and not having, if you're long or looking to get long, as long as you're defining your risk, I think it could get to that mark. But we really have to see in this environment what we're going to get. So looking at Netflix, again, we're right at 98.30, and we know we have this previous resistance here. Support and resistance levels that we know. So again, them breaking that $100 level and really getting above a 105.70 level would be like, okay, because actually if they continue up, I would look to take stuff off at 105.70. Okay, it would just be a great trade. Again, if you're in it, fine. But also what I'm saying is to look at the weekly time frame to say, would you be long now? Or would you be saying, damn, this volume has gone to hell and I'm looking to go short? Because you don't want to, again, these weeklies, you want to make sure that the tide, and this is going to be a lot less messy chart. And again, the only deceiving part of weeklies is that they don't show you a lot of this is gap up and gaps down. So you see these big bars, you say, oh, they just got in here. A lot of these are gaps from the earnings. You can see this little small E's right here. This green E is actually for the stock split. So one that didn't participate today, which was kind of weird, was Tesla. This is Tesla coming up to our band of resistance that we talked about, was down $5.60. So goodness gracious, what's going to happen if we do get some type of retracement here? And it's coming right at that critical level that we talked about. Again, it could gap up. I mean, these are equities, but really long in the tooth regarding this retracement, and want to see, again, they break below this 181, or actually if they break below this 180.81, that would be something to really kind of open your eyes to. And last but not least, we have Google, which is giving you a strong move up, but again, going into the weekly time frame, we want to see them above this 754.50 level. Okay, that kind of takes a lot of this huge gap up from earnings. It takes a lot of, and say, okay, they're going to crush that, and then they're continuing for higher. So we'll continue to see how it is. It's been a very interesting market, to say the least. This is the weekly for the ES, and you can see that it's, just tapped that trend line and went up. But now we want to see if they're going to have some follow-through volume that can at least match or get a little bit higher than last week's volume. So a little bit longer, but I really wanted to dive into, again, with such a big day, you have a lot of people that are overzealous. I want to get long, I want to get long. Just, if you're long, cool. Again, just you've made your money, and most of them probably would be lightening up their position and just really holding runners. If you're looking to initiate a buy, I would say just really make sure that you understand, or look at a lower time frame to understand your risk going accordingly. So let's see what happens tomorrow. It's been a start to an exciting month. Take care.